Hi, I'm Mary Kopsitsky, the CEO of Regalytics. Happy 21st anniversary to my awesome husband, Red. Just imagine if he hadn't been around to support me through all these crazy years, you wouldn't know about this week's 15,710 alerts. And this is going to be a good episode. The topic of the week is IoT labeling, which is perfect for my husband. Because for those of you who don't know what IoT is, it's the Internet of Things. And typically it refers to smart devices. And some of you who know me personally know that every physically possible way a home or a life could be automated, my husband makes sure that it is. I have to charge my soap, okay? I did not ask for this. I don't understand how to use most of it, but I've had friends on my balcony before and the lights suddenly dim and change colors, and that's because Red is monitoring us from 30,000 feet in the air while he's on an airplane and thinking maybe they need more candlelit feel for their conversation. Okay, so why Internet of Things? The White House, along with the FCC and NIST, announced the U.S. Cyber Trust Mark, which will give consumers a way of understanding whether an IoT product meets a cybersecurity baseline. This way, you don't have to worry that our enemies are spying on you with that smart fridge that you bought. And why are they doing this? Marketers. Marketing teams write things like military grade encryption, when in reality, military grade encryption is no different from standard encryption. But how could a hospital system, a water treatment facility, or a school district know this? Well, now they can because it will have the official logo. The regulator of the week is the FTC. First, they nailed a company called Rejuvica for a product called Sobrenix. Sobrenix was $34, sold at Walmart, Amazon, and the like. It was a safe option to end alcohol craving. They made numerous unsubstantiated claims to have clinical proof that doesn't exist, and also they had paid endorsers make TV appearances that were supposed to look like news stories. In addition, they made phony review websites. The executives in the company have agreed that they won't do this anymore, and they are paying a $650,000 fine that the FTC is going to use to refund customers. Second, the FTC, along with HHS and the Office for Civil Rights, also sent a warning letter to 130 companies in the healthcare space. Hospitals, telehealth providers, health app developers, they all got this letter warning them that health tracking tech, including the big names like Meta, Google, they pose serious privacy risks to consumer health information. So heed this warning. Hospitals, just like banks, have responsibilities around patient privacy, and they're not delegable. That means if you send patient information to a third party, you do have responsibilities around vetting those third parties. Credit Suisse is back in the news again, this time about Archegos, which many of us know was the beginning of the end. There were major blunders around that investment and the entire risk management program. So this week they got the global gamut of pain. £87 million, the highest fine ever from the UK's Prudential Regulatory Authority. And that's not even all. It's the only time a PRA enforcement investigation found 4 breaches of PRA fundamental rules. And that's not all. The Federal Reserve Board announced a consent order and a $268 million fine to UBS, which of course just bought Credit Suisse. And that's not all. The Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority, FINMA, has also ordered corrective measures for UBS. They are also doing an enforcement proceeding against a former CS executives whose name is still nameless, but I certainly have guesses. Speaking of names, the SEC busted a SPAC called Digital World Acquisition Corp. This corporation was registered with the SEC saying it would be buying a bunch of companies, but they had no discussions with any of the potential target companies in advance of the IPO. Not true. They had been talking the whole time to a particularly interesting target company and not disclosing it all to investors. Then, in October of 2021, they very calmly merged with Trump Media and Technology Group Corporation, hoping that no one would really notice. Sound fishy? It was. $18 million fine. There was another interesting SEC bust for free riding. Chad Evans of Fincastle, Virginia, went to a bunch of different brokerage firms, put money in, and immediately traded securities using the discounted funds the brokerage firms made available while the money was on its way. Except there was no money. And worse, the guy's trading wasn't profitable. So he basically stole money to play the stock market, did a terrible job, and lost it. He now can no longer open a brokerage account without first providing any firm the SEC complained about him, and he had to pay a $10,000 penalty. I always like to end on good news or funny news where possible, and so today I think it's good news. A federal agency found someone hacking them, contacted CISA, which is the U.S. Federal Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. CISA immediately detected other vulnerable systems inside the federal government and shut it all down. And this is thanks to some hard work the agencies did to centralize cyber attack information and response capabilities. So, good job, U.S. federal government. And finally, the Federal Reserve announced that its new system for instant payments, the FedNow service, is live. So banks and credit unions of all sizes can sign up and use this tool to instantly transfer money for their customers, us, any time of the day, on any day of the year. I think this is huge progress. And that's it this week for Regalytics. Join me every Wednesday for your dose of regulatory news, and happy anniversary, Red.